Good evening, HBE parents and families. Principal Kahmar here, coming to you live from my home office. I just wanted to reach out and connect, say hello, check in on each of you. I hope that everybody is well, healthy and safe out there. Speaking to many of our staff members, we miss your kids certainly, and hope that they're all doing well. Please do tell them we are asking for them and say hello for us. The purpose of this video is to be able to connect with you, and I'll do this periodically in the upcoming weeks, and to be able to share some of the information that I know is already coming out of district office, and if there's anything specific to our kids in HBE, so that I could be able to share that. So Superintendent Rydell and our school webpage, pjschools.org, will be our primary line of communication. I know he's been updating the community regularly, and you should do the same on our website. Check in as often as possible. This information that I'm speaking of today is what we know up to this point, and it is Monday, March 23rd. We know this has all been changing rapidly, so if you're listening to this into the future, some of this could have changed by then. So what we're talking about here today is up to date as of today, Monday, March 23rd. A couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about here today. Time sensitive is our Chromebook initiative. We know that there are many students out there that either want or need a Chromebook at home. So we've established a process to be able to do that. They actually handed out a bunch today at the 209 complex and HBE. That is going to happen again tomorrow, is the second day, the last day that they intend to do that. And that will happen again from noon to 5 at HBE. And there is a hotline set up to call and reserve to make sure you book the Chromebook that you might need, and it's one per family. And that number is 845-858-8884. So again, if you haven't gotten one already, hopefully you've taken care of that if you want or need one. But they are handing those out tomorrow from noon to 5, 845-858-8884. And more importantly, I wanted to talk about our food program. We thank the district, and the district has worked really hard to make this available to all of our students. And that's any student in any household in Port Jervis district. And really any school-age child could go to get the food, but that is breakfast and lunch, and they are serving that at several locations for our HBE kids. That's out at HBE from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, until further notice. We're that's as long as the government agencies are going to allow us to continue doing that. The district would like to keep supporting that. So up-to-date information on that program is also on the website, and I'm sure if there are changes to that, that'll be communicated from the superintendent. So but really, really important to us that you know that that's available to you. Again, 9 to 10 at HBE. If any families are having difficulty getting out there, I've had some conversations regarding that. The Salvation Army in Port Jervis is a great resource for us, and they've reached out and are partnering with the district to help with deliveries of food to families that can't get to the schools. So you can call on them directly, or you can reach out to me and I can help facilitate that. Easiest way to get in touch with me is my school email. That's jkmar@pjschools.org. And again, that's jkahmar@pjschools.org. Even while we're on break here, I'll be checking that regularly. So if you have any questions at all, reach out to me, especially if it's specific to the food program. We want to help take care of that for you. So speaking of the calendar, I want to talk about the calendar and the work that's come home thus far and what that's going to look like moving forward here. So as you know, we worked really, really hard to prepare engaging activities for your kids, and those came home either as hard copy packets, and then some of our classroom teachers are able to use online platform, and our primary grades are more hard copy, and then as you move up in age, we have more of an online platform with some hard copy, and the hard copies are available to anybody, especially if you can't access the technology. But to clarify, there has been some questions about that process. All of that work is intending to be engaging activities and is not meant to be new work. It should be supporting things that students have already learned, keep them busy, keep them engaged, and keep supporting the work that they've already done. So I did want to speak to that because there have been several questions about that. I am going to do a screencastify. It's a recording where you'll be able to see me and I'll be able to navigate. You'll be able to see my computer screen, because I know there's been some questions about how do I get on Google Classroom as a parent, what resources are there to support me. I can take you through how to get your kids on there, how to navigate that as a parent. I want to show you ClassLink and some of the different resources that are available to all of our kids, and just some really neat resources that are out there. So I'll send that in a separate video. That said, it's amazing, the ed community, the education community out there, all of the resources, especially free resources that are being made available to us as educators and you as families. But I also know that can be quite overwhelming. I'll kind of put my father hat and educator hat on at the same time here. Speaking to you about the process in my house with my own kids. I know it can be overwhelming. Some rules of thumb as things get hectic, and if you are feeling overwhelmed, literacy. The sweet spot for our kids, you want to be pushing volume in books. Keep your kids reading. If nothing else, you want to maintain what they've done already. The best way to do that is to keep your students in books. Generally, our youngest kids are K and first graders. That 15-minute window, and you can be reading to them as well. And then as they get into those middle grades, you start pushing up into a half hour, and then our older students 45 minutes, and our oldest kids an hour a day. But you want to be pushing volume with those kids, getting them into books, and that will help maintain the work that they've done so far. So that, and then the last piece of just simply spending time with your kids. The silver lining here has been, as difficult as this has been on many of us, the silver lining is this blessed time at home with our children. So just making the most of that, and I talk about it often, the number one predictor of future success is having involved parents and family members. So hit the pause button here. We're home with our kids. Take that time to play a game, build a puzzle, have some dialogue and a conversation, read a book together, read while they're reading, them seeing you doing it, you can model for them, and get outside and do some activities. One of the coolest things we did so far is a wiffle ball tournament outside under the lights. Everybody bundled up. It was one of the best times we've had in a long time, just as a family, relaxing in some fresh air and enjoying one another's company. So, I wish that for each of you, that time with your kids and pushing volume and literacy in their books, and then using the suggestions and materials from your teachers for support. The calendar, I missed the calendar here. The calendar right now, currently we are on spring break. They did have to shift that for several reasons, and I know the superintendent spoke to that, but we can't predict what the upcoming weeks are going to look like, and we need to preserve our days if and when we do get back to school. So they did have to shift that. There have been some calendar changes. The one currently affecting us is that we are on spring break, and that is why, to answer why I started that dialogue, that some of you might not be seeing work this week from your teachers posted because they too are on break. And starting April 1st, if there's a need, and some projections suggest that might be the case, that they need to extend this time off further, as of April 1st, we'll be able to support your students from either the online platform or printing hard copy work. So work will be coming back through one way or another, starting April 1st, in the event that we're not back on campus. So, we're going to take this day by day right now in the moment, and I expect as we get closer, then we'll have some better direction, or some more direction rather, from our government officials on what our timeframes look like, and we'll be communicating that out as a district, and we'll be able to give you better direction on what learning is going to look like at that time. So stay tuned, hang in there, and enjoy this time with your kids. Let them know again we miss them and we're thinking of them, and do contact me if you have any questions. All right, until next time, be well.